Welcome back to another video. It's your favorite videos, the long and drawn out Monday update videos, or as I also like to call it, where the hell to place this mic at today. I still can't figure it out. I don't like this whole big arm thing in y'all's view. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I keep saying I'm going to change it, move it around. I don't know what other options I got at this point. I didn't like it on this side of the camera because that's where my light is, and it cast a shadow over my face. So it's all, and then I tried putting the camera on the other side, and that didn't work either because when I looked at the camera, then I was facing away from the mic. So these are the problems a YouTuber has. So, the challenge to make it sound more professional and better, and seems like you just make it worse. So we have a lot of stuff going on in crypto right now. If you have caught any of my last couple of videos, I'm kind of getting back on that video train, if you want to call it that. Hunting season's basically over. It's got like a week left, but it's also, we went from 9 inches of snow last week to 70 degrees today. So that shows you how much of a change we had. And it's supposed to be raining and hot the rest of the week, and I'm not going hunting in that. So that gives me the benefit of trying to put out more crypto stuff for y'all, more videos about projects and how-to stuff. And there's just a lot of stuff going on with some of our favorite projects. Wingbits is some very exciting news going on with that, and we'll talk about that when it gets there. Also, since most of y'all pay attention in the first couple of minutes, and that's about it, and me included when I watch other videos, but we have a new #1 on the board. Yep, Entropy, who's held the #1 spot for longer than Michael Jackson's Thriller. I know I just aged myself, but Casey Kasem used to have top whatever it was on the music every Sunday, whatever on the radio, and God, I'm aging myself so bad. And you had these people who would have these rock songs and stuff that would just stay on the top hit charts for weeks and weeks and weeks at a time. Well, Entropy held on to that #1 spot for a while. And hey, with some positive price action, they could easily take back over #1. Right now, the price action is a little bit down, so that has kind of lowered it. But there's a new project that just went to mainnet, and this device is, even with their price being low, has really taken it off. But first, we're going to talk about some things going on in crypto, talk about some price action. It was, I'll call it a bloodbath, but it was a bloodbath in crypto and in stocks. So let's get to it. All right, we're going to start off like we always started off. We're going to look at a few charts. Again, I know I repeat myself a lot, but I know you don't come for me for TA and that kind of stuff like that, but I like to look at the charts to kind of see what general direction the market's going. So, if we see our projects going in that same direction, it doesn't, we don't get too alarmed. If we see our project doing better than what these charts are doing, it makes us feel really good. And if our projects are doing worse than what these charts are doing, it makes us pause a little bit and worry about it. So first, we can take a look at Bitcoin as usual. And as we can see, last Monday when we did our video, we were about 102,000, and we're at 101,000 now. So that's not too bad. And what I think is a healthy move, when we looking at a price drop like this, we had this news come out. I know stocks took a huge dive also today. So, I had people calling me up wanting to know about, oh my God, what's going on with crypto? I'm so done with crypto. I can't handle this stuff. And I'm like, well, did you see the stocks? Because the stocks are doing just as bad. Something about Chinese AI or something like that. I don't know why we let that stuff bother us anymore, but hey, it bothered the market, stock market, crypto market. You had a hell of a drop from about Sunday yesterday at 1 p.m. until Monday this morning about 1 o'clock. And, you dropped 7% in just a few hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 10 hours. That was crazy. And then it came up, and then you dropped again, and then it came up. But the fact that you dropped all the way to 97,000 and came back up almost basically up to 102,000 kind of rather quickly in a few hours, To me, that shows a very healthy market. We know we're going to have these kind of dips. I kind of tell y'all that every time. We're going to have these kind of dips. This is going to happen. Nothing goes straight up. You know, I know it's easy for me. I don't own a lot of Bitcoin. I own some, but I don't own a lot of Bitcoin. But you know that this kind of affects the rest of the market. You know, we look at Ethereum. Ethereum basically did the same thing. It had this huge drop off, you know, from 3,300 down to 3,000, came up, came down to 3,000 again, went up to 3,200, and it's slowly building back. Look at Solana. Solana did the same thing. So this was just a general, I call it a scare, whatever you want to call it, in the market. But the fact that it's getting bought back up, I'm gonna tell y'all with this big. I mean, Solana was $300 not too long ago. Was almost 300, 290 something dollars. So the fact that this was at 235 down to 221, payday's not till Friday for me. If I had some extra cheddar right now, I would have bought this up. You know, I'm getting to a point right now. I'm trying to slowly collect a little bit of Bitcoin, and there's a part of me that says, you know, when Bitcoin's falling in the 95, 96, 97 ranges, I might want to buy a little bit of it just to have it. This is one regret that I've had. I didn't really want to buy a lot of Bitcoin in the bear market just because I never really saw it. You know, I knew it was going to go up. I just looked at it as the bear market. You know, you can buy Bitcoin, it could possibly 2x, maybe 3x. Where at that time you're buying Solana or some of these other tokens, you knew it was going to 5x, 6x, 7x, or something like that. So I was just putting all my extra capital into those alt tokens. Now, I didn't really look at it as the whole scarcity side of it and some of the projections they're saying about pricing over the next couple of years with Bitcoin. I wish I would have put a little bit more money into Bitcoin. Like I said, I do own some, a couple of $100 worth, but nothing like I own a lot of my other altcoins like Solana, Cardano, VET, AVAX, and those things like that. HNT. Yeah, HNT's got problems. So let's start moving into some of our other issues that we got going on. So one thing I want to address is, and I was thinking about making my own video on this, but I guess part of the problem is me. I start getting bothered by some of the rhetoric that I'm hearing, or some of the, I won't say it's attacks, but some of it is attacks. People think that all YouTubers do things for a certain reason or anything like that. Listen, I bring this news to you. I also discuss projects that I'm in right now. So while people say I'm only hating on projects or I'm only positive on projects, whatever like that, y'all know me. I'm grumpy all the time. I earned that name. That is what people call me in real life, you know, because I'm always seen to be grumpy about something. So when people accuse me of doing things only for codes or referrals or something like that, that's not the only reason I'm doing it. I started doing this and was not getting any of that stuff. But not that I make an excuse or trying to be funny, but it's like hate the play or hate the game. If these other YouTubers are going to do it and I'm not making my overtime like I used to do, I'm not doing stuff for my side business like I'm doing, I'm concentrating more on this. I've always said there's nothing wrong with me sharing the code. If you're going to go buy a Wingbits station and I go share this code right here, you're going to buy a Wingbits station at one of these websites. Do you want to pay 100% of it or only 90% of it? Which doesn't sound like that much price difference, like 10%. But when you realize that the Wingbits GeoDNet combined stations are $1,000, you're saving $100 by using the code. Yes. Do I get a little kickback? Yes. Am I also very bullish? If anybody's followed me at all, I'm very bullish on the Wingbits project and that whole team and everything going on. So part of it is me pushing that also. And I make a little bit off the side of, but that is not the sole reason I do it. And I did a kind of a very scathing video about 2 weeks ago, but I'm still getting this from certain people about I only push projects. And and actually my number one project that we're going to talk about shortly, because of what price action this did. And people think I'm only pushing it because I'm benefiting from it. And that's hardly the reason at all. Y'all know me. I can find something negative in everything. I've tell the same story. Y'all sick of hearing it, but I tell the same story all the time. If I won $1 million tomorrow on a scratch off a lottery ticket, I'd be grumpy and PO'd because Uncle Sam is going to take half of it, and he don't deserve any of it. He's going to spend it in some place I don't agree with, some country I probably can't pronounce, where I could have used that for my family. So I can find negatives in everything. So people who say that I'm always, I'm only, negative when I want to be or anything like that, y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about. We also have to look at the background of certain individuals. When people want to attack me and people want to say stuff, and you look at what their background is, there's always usually some kind of, side agenda for them, but but some attacks are not just me, like they're against the project. And you're watching Silencio go through that right now. And that Discord has been horrible. Absolutely horrible. Token released for 2 hours and people lost their mind over the price action and airdrop and the price dumping. Or they couldn't get a Lambo with it. And listen, I'm not gonna be the first one. I'm not gonna sit there and tell y'all that I have not been upset with some token releases or what devices or what projects are paying out. Y'all know that I'm not happy at all with NATIX. I'm not happy right now with Soarchain. But those projects have been paying out for a while and nothing's improved, or like in fact the Soarchain totally gut their rewards. Well, that's different. Silencio had an airdrop, people sold it. And how many more times does this have to happen before you realize it? These are free apps. Maybe we're expecting too much. I'm in a chat earlier with a group of guys about deep pin projects and stuff, and I brought that up as maybe Helium has spoiled us. Helium, that when it first started, I made, tell the same story, I'm not gonna tell the whole story again, but I made $5,000 in 17 days because I ROI'd on the station I bought for $5,000. That's how I know, and that's how I tracked it. That was before the price even hit $20. Eventually went to 40 some dollars. Has Helium spoiled us? DIMO, Hive Mapper, the kind of money they were making at first, and are people now expecting that if you're early in every project? Because I'm wondering if that's what the issue is you joined Silencio, you joined NATIX, any of these free projects, they finally go to mainnet, and because you don't have a dump of money in front of you, people are losing their minds over that. And I'm like, it's a free project. What did you expect? Now, I understand what some people come from. I try to look at things from both sides. They have spent their time going and doing stuff like I did yesterday. If y'all caught my video, I've released it this morning, but yesterday my family had something that they were going to do. Instead of me sitting at home by myself, I went out and technically I was running like 6 or 7 deep in projects at the same time. Went to shopping malls, went to grocery stores, and I was working these different projects. And check that video out that I did earlier today. But, I'm working the KAGE app from Chirp. Did great on it. I'm working the Silencio app, working technically NATIX, DIMO, Soarchain. I'm working all these projects at the same time. So I don't know. I don't know what we supposed to be expecting from some of this. My fear is even like Wingbits. Even the Wingbits team is I tell everybody I'm planning on having this big party when Wingbits goes mainnet. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna have dancing girls, and I joke around about that. But balloons and hats and stuff like that. And even they have told me, calm down on all that, because we don't want you to make it this big thing. And then if they kind of have the same, they at least have taken their testnet tokens and spread it out over 12 months. So you don't have this huge dump in the beginning, where Silencio, they did theirs in 2 runs. They dumped half of the tokens now and the other half in 6 months. And I don't know why there's this mad rush. I got people asking me all the time, hey, have you sold tokens from this project? You have sold tokens from this project. I have not sold tokens from anything. I sold a little bit of tokens from grass just while I was on a hunting trip to have a little bit of flash money, because I didn't think grass was going to do much. And, I still have a very good chunk of that. Grass prices come down. We're going to talk about that later. But when you look at some of these projects, GeoDNet, Entropy, CHIRP, WeatherXM, NATIX, Soarchain, ERWIN, Silencio, DIMO. I haven't sold a single token of those. A single token of those. Why? The prices are so low right now. What am I getting? I'm getting $25 out of it, $100 out of it, maybe. Why not roll with that until you get to until we get to a more bullish cycle that these alt tokens go up. I mean, I can't see them going down much more. Are they going down? Sure. But we finally are in a good place with we have a president that's pro crypto. Despite how you feel about him, how you personally feel about him, you can't argue the fact that this administration is way more pro crypto than the last one. Hell, the last SEC Gensler, what's he do as a parting gift the day before he quits? He goes and sues Helium for securities. And I'm hoping that Trump comes in and just wipes that out, because it's all BS. These companies have constantly asked, what's the rules on crypto and all the securities and stuff like that? And they never have defined it. Yet they want to turn around and say they broke the rules. Then give them the rules. So that was a little bit long of a rant than normal. I'm seeing it's like 7 to 8 minutes. But again, I want to try to kind of, temper our expectation on some of these projects, because I just think any project, I don't care what project it is. I don't care if it's Wingbits. I'm looking at some of our testnet. Apparently I need some more testnet projects. I'm only have 2 testnet projects left now, but Wingbits 375, maybe we need to temper our expectations for those. Any of the projects that y'all might be in, the get rich scheme, I think them days are going to be well over with. I remember watching when I first got into helium here in the Louisiana area in Baton Rouge. There was a guy who had a station who had 10 to 12 different helium stations at that time, but nobody else could get that many. But helium allowed DIY devices at first. He had DIY devices around Baton Rouge. When the token was still $12 to $15 each, that's when I made my 5,000 from it. He had $1 million worth of H&T in his wallet at that time. I think them days over with. Can you still make some good money with these projects? Absolutely. Are they passive income? Majority of them are passive income. DIMO, I don't have to mess with them. Wingbits, when those are done, the geosonars are done, the new stations are set up, shouldn't have to mess with them that much. A lot of GEODNET, Chirp, a lot of these devices you don't have to touch. Do I think we get some good income? Absolutely. Is it going to be mind-blowing Lambo, fishing boat type money? I don't think so. And that's just me being real with y'all. Yes, I think when you start adding them all up, you can probably, if you're in as many projects as I am, and you have a good bull market where all these coins blow up like they did the last one, I think you could. But to say that one project, y'all coming in and buying one project, I'm going all into grass. No, I don't think that's going to happen. But that's just me. All right, I ranted long enough on that. Let's get moving. So we're going to kick off this with a little bit of fireworks, because I guarantee you there's going to be fireworks when I announce who the new number 1 is. I know that the crew who's behind now the number 2 project are a very passionate group, probably more passionate, more of a tight community that I am involved in. I'm in some group chats with them, and the number 2 group here loves their project. But hey, the facts and numbers speak for themselves. So let's go ahead and start off with this number 1. And I know there's gonna be people who knock the number 1 project, but again, the numbers are the numbers. Kind of like when I played football and I screwed up. Coach would say, tape don't lie. Well, in here, the video you're watching and the numbers don't lie. All right, so revealing the number 1. I will say there's going to be a little bit of controversy in this, because this is another Discord that's hot, including some comments that when I did a video about this project over the weekend, y'all make sure y'all check that out. There were some people who complained about it. Again, people who saw a price dip. Hey, airdrop came out. People sold. It's going to be a rhetoric that keeps repeating itself with all these projects. But let's see who number 1 is. Now, here's a project that, again, I'm honest with myself. I'm honest with y'all that, you know, um, I have been very high on them. And there's times where I had some straight FUD that I was worried about. And even that was recently, just 3 or 4 weeks ago. I'm not gonna say I didn't deny it or anything like that, but it was FUD that was rightly so, that was brought up in the Discord about, and even to this point right now, there's no talk of their network side. Um, Everything that they're pushing right now is this KAGE app. So what I did, for those who missed that video, is I have a buddy who just got a brand new Android phone, and talked crypto with him a little bit. I told him about the KAGE app. He asked me what I was doing with it. I said I didn't have an Android phone, and he gave me his old one and said, now you do. He said, with just gentleman's agreement that if something ever happens to his new one and he needs one in emergency, I give that one back. And I said, no problem, because I'm just running the KAGE app on it. So now I'm involved in KAGE, and I'm doing very well with it. So there was a airdrop that came in from CHIRP when they went TGE last week. Again, I did a video on all this, and that airdrop was very good to me. Some people asked if that airdrop was because of me having a Blackbird miner or running the KAGE app. I didn't run the KAGE app for about maybe a week before that snapshot was taken. So that airdrop was probably very little of the KAGE app and more from the Blackbird miner, but I got several $100s worth out of it. Now I am doing almost 200 CHIRP token every day with a Blackbird miner. Now this price has come down. We're going to go look at that in a second. But even at the price that's down right now, I'm still making $20 a day. Now, when I did that video the other day, I was making about $25 a day. So this price is coming down. But from what I also understand is that because they don't have that IoT network really going yet, paying customers and stuff, there's not really that much liquidity that's being injected into this. We're going to see. And that's going to be a repeated subject that we talk about with a lot of these projects, because I'm seeing that in the Discord. I'm seeing that with the group of people I talk to. Is some of these projects just expect people to come in and start buying tokens. And I just don't think that's going to work like that. CHIRP supposedly supposed to be putting some kind of liquidity into this token to keep it kind of propped up. They better get to it if they expect people to kind of jump on that bandwagon. So we're going to look at what the CHIRP price has been doing. And to be all fair, there is some big news that came out about their IoT network. Again, I don't want to go too deep into it. This video isn't long enough as it is. Check out my video I did on CHIRP, and it explains kind of why their IoT network is going to be different than what Helium was. I always call Helium kind of the version 1.0 of DPIN networks, IoT networks. They were very strict, very narrow-minded as far as what kind of devices they were going to allow, where CHIRP has kind of basically said, everybody come to us. As many, the more the merrier. So we're going to talk about a partnership in a minute, but let's go back to market cap. Now, look, this token, for any of y'all who understand market cap, y'all going to freak out when y'all hear this, freak out in a good way. There's only 38 million CHIRP circulating. And then you look at this price of 10 cents. Anybody who knows anything about market cap, and again, this is why, and I know I'm getting off the rails here. This is also why I try to tell people why I personally, I don't have anything against it. I own a little bit of it, but when people want to talk about this certain project right here, and I know there's a certain person who likes to come and slam me in my comments, and this is in his name, but the facts are the facts. People, I got friends who are not into crypto at all, who work at these plants and work at some of these places. In other words, they got a little bit of money, who friends are telling them, man, you need to, don't worry about any other token. You need to buy XRP, because XRP is going up to, name it, $10, $15, $50, $100. There's something called market cap. Look at this market cap, and just for it to go to $6, realize that it's going to have to do, y'all know I had to cheat, use a calculator. It's going to have to go to $352 billion market cap just to double at this point. That's to get to $6. 352. Now, am I saying that it will never, ever, ever reach that? Absolutely not. Will it be this bull cycle like people are saying? Absolutely not. You realize to get to that, how much Ethereum's gonna have to go up, Bitcoin's gonna have to go up, you know, and if it does, let's say it does, that's $6. To get to $10, like some of these people are talking about, you know, it's all about the circulating supply and the price of the token and all this stuff like that. And let me tell you, and one thing I hate doing, even though my lives and people ask me about price predictions, I hate doing price predictions. People tell me I should do price predictions because to be able to say what some of these projects may be worth in the future. Don't look at the token price now. Nothing is ever guaranteeing that. I always use an example. Nobody thought FTX would be worth $0 now. Nobody thought at the time Luna would be worth what it is now. Luna was $100 at one point. Terra Luna, whatever it was actually called. Nobody thought that. So I don't like doing price predictions. What I will say is just to kind of look at where this market cap could be. And you look at where, you know, Ethereum name EMS, 35 million tokens at $32, 60 million tokens at $53, 65 million tokens at $13. But you're going to tell me a 38 million token supply is supposed to be at 10 cents? You see why I'm excited for this project and why, if it's ran correctly. Now, is there any guarantee this price ever goes above 10 cents again? Absolutely not. Do I think it will? Absolutely. But nothing in this world is promised. And, you know, this price is going to go down because there's nobody buying it. There's no volume coming into it. There's no carrot, as I always like to say, buying it. It released at 29 cents. At 29 cents. But what happens when you do an airdrop? People sell and continue to sell. It's not even on any big exchanges. It's on KuCoin, which to me arguably is the number 2 or 3 exchange out there. You know, Mexi, and so you haven't had a Binance pick this up yet, or a Coinbase, or a Crypto.com, or anything like that. Eventually, with this project, I can see that happening. We're just going to boost this volume up. But when you look at this 24-hour volume, it's very weak. I'm not going to say it's not. But what I'm also going to say is, if this price would have held steady, and again, I'm going to say this again, with a 38 million CHIRP total supply, 300 million CHIRP max supply over the next, 10, 12 years, this is still an absurdly low price. But even if you take this price, if this price would have kept going steady, my device, Blackbird miner, is making $53 a day. $53 a day. That's unheard of right now. So hopefully they can figure this out and what's going on with it. So one of the big announcements where they are talking about that network, CHIRP is teaming up with, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this, but it's a leading IoT provider in Germany to power the deployments of 1,000 IoT sensors across 200 plus commercial properties using CHIRP's DPIN network. This is a huge step, and it kind of verifies whatever they're working on, whatever the network's going to be, for other businesses to see. And I think this is huge. While this might not benefit me here in the United States or you in other countries, it does show that there is a proof of work, if that makes sense, of working network. Now, going into KAGE, I'm running KAGE nonstop. I drove all over the place yesterday as like a little adventure. Check that video out. I went into all kinds of stores, bowling alleys, arcades, Walmarts, grocery stores to do KAGE. And I busted its butt. I got all kinds of stuff. It was absurd, the amount of Bluetooths and Wi-Fi SSIDs in the Walmart alone. Thousands. I don't know where they're all at, but thousands. KAGE, as of right now, it's no secret, even though people want to put it in the comments like as if this is some secret, is not paying rewards yet. They tell you in the Discord they don't know exactly when the first set of rewards will pay for KAGE. However, once it pays From that point on, every 10 days, depending on your ranking, as long as you're ranked, like some people are complaining that they never got the first initial payment from KAGE. You have to be ranked a certain amount. It has to be higher than, like, say, 40,000 ranking. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been running this thing for a little over a week now, and I'm already down to like number 7,000, 6,000, something like that. It might be 4,000, or that might be on one of the teams that splits into two teams. So you running this thing, just going back and forth to work and putting a little effort into it. Now, you can't sit here at home and just constantly scan the same SSIDs because you don't get credit for that once you scan it. But you driving around, every vehicle that passes you nowadays, the newer vehicles, has an SSID coming out of it in 2 or 3, 4 Bluetooths. I'm driving on interstate yesterday. There's a median in between us. And those cars that are way on the other side, coming in the opposite direction, I'm hitting their Bluetooth. So that shows you the range that is available with this. I know I'm spending a lot of time on, put all my little stuff up here so nobody gets their feelings hurt. Nobody says I'm trying to do anything. I own tokens. I own all the tokens. I do videos on these projects that I'm in. Therefore, I own those tokens. So there's no secret about it. And I sell them when I'm ready to sell them. Okay. The KAGE app, if you have an Android phone, it's only for Android. I'm not even going to get on that tangent. I spent way too much time on this. You can run it. Use my code. Just when I learned how to point the right way, it's all backwards now. Use my code 4E430177 because it doesn't let you make easy codes. And you get a free 25,000 data chips to start off with. So you're already getting a good head start on the KAGE app. So download it. Use my code, please. Help me out. It helps the channel out a little bit. And nobody can accuse me of doing this just for money because KAGE isn't paying right now. So I have no idea what I'm paying and what I'm even going to get from a code. So who knows? But again, it's a very easy app that you can run and leave it running. From what I understand, you can run it 24/7 if you want. Now, it does suck some battery out, but I keep mine plugged in. But again, there's no reason to let it just sit at your house because once you scan those SSIDs, there's no reason to. But I'm telling you, when I get in the vehicle now, instead of it being NATIX or any of these other projects, Soarchain, my first one I do now is CHIRP, and then it's 375 AI. I always force close that and restart 375 AI. And that's what I run. All right. I know that was long. That's why I put chapters in it. I know it's going to be longer than an hour video, but I'm also going to try to go a little bit faster on some of our other projects that don't have any news. So coming in at number 2, y'all know I love y'all. Again, it's just the numbers. There's nothing against y'all or nothing like that, but it's Entropy. Entropy, we've been rocking $20, $25 a day on our devices. And what's cool about it, y'all know I tell y'all every time, you got an ESP32 device that costs you $6 or $7 on Amazon. You get a 3-pack for $18 for all these products we talk about. And, you know, I'm making 130,000 tokens. I'm still making the same amount, about 125 to 130,000 tokens a day. But the price action has come down. You've had some jeeters, as they call them. You know, this project is a project that's trying to get you to help the project and hold it long term. If you have a problem, like I talked about earlier, these people with airdrops who feel like they have to go, they got an airdrop right now, they got to go within 15 minutes because they were losing their minds on Silencio when they couldn't sell it right now. There was such a rush to sell it. I'm like, y'all waited on this project to go mainnet for 6 months and y'all can't wait to go sell it. Y'all need $27 that bad. Jesus. Same thing with Entropy. Entropy has plans, partnerships, all these plans, because I'm hearing about them for the future. They're D-Pin meme coin, but you know, the guy who founded it, or one of them is at one of the crypto conferences right now as we speak, or he might be back now, talking about partnerships with this to go further out, to expand Entropy. So the second law is there that you don't go and cheat or sell these tokens and crash the project, is to hold on to them. Just mine them. You're making $25 a day, $20 a day, $13 a day right now with the price low. just hold on to them. It ain't the end of the world. You know, and if you want to sell a little bit, you can sell a little bit if you want. But these people who are going out there and selling $1,000 and wrecking the price, you're selfish. And I'm gonna call you out. I don't care. You know, and then they're on social media proud of it. I'm proud. You know, I took all that. Like, why? Like, all the stuff that y'all are in, you telling me, like, what are you so proud of? That you wrecked the price? I mean, was it killing you to keep it in there? I don't know. I don't know why people do some of the things they do. So we're looking at the entropy price here. It had this crazy one wick that came way up when somebody made a huge deposit. So it kind of messes up the chart a little bit. But it's always kind of been in this 1,200 to 1,400 channel for a while. And it'll have these crazy dips all of a sudden where somebody will go and sell $2,000 worth of their tokens and crash it down. And there's several people, myself included, that use, you know, Radium or Jupiter or something like that. We set up spot orders that, you know, we'll put in there, like, if the price goes down below 0.00001 to buy $25 or $50 worth. There's several of us that talk about that. And so you see, that's why you see these flash wicks that come down and it easily gets bought right back up, because we have these sell orders in. But it's slowly selling. And, you know, you can see the green down here of the transactions, but it's now down to this 0.009. We've been here before, and I have no doubt with the amount of stuff that they're working on that this project's going to come back up. I'm not selling any. I'm just sitting here and collecting it, mining it. And every 7 days I go and pull it out. If you don't pull it out within 7 days, you start burning it. You know, and a lot of these ESP32 projects are like that. So if you want any information on it, you go to justentropy.lol and they'll discuss it. Also, you can go to, you know, on the bottom of it, you have all these links down here for the Discord, because people are asking all the time how to get information. I'll get into it. So you have, you know, TikTok and Twitter, X, and Discord, and whatever hell all these other things are and stuff like that. And you can get more information on that. All right, moving on. What do we have next? We have GEODNET. GEODNET's one that's been steady, and actually, yeah, a little bit of a price increase since our last video. So we're up to $8 a day on our GEODNET. This is a truly passive income project because you install it. Make sure you install in a good location that's high above any kind of roof line, so that you get all 360-degree satellite view. As long as you're getting a full satellite view, you know, from your antenna, nothing's blocking it around it, you should be getting max rewards. I'm getting max rewards. So several hundred GEODNET a day, which equals about $8. Some of the news that they've had recently is that they started with their GeoPulse. You can get GeoPulse. You go to highfix.ai. Y'all know that same code that I had for the Wingbits devices, you can also use it here, and you get 10% off of this GeoPulse device. And they have started now giving out rewards for those GeoPulses with the quest that we talked about, where the GeoPulse won't be giving out rewards constantly. They will have quests that will get you Geode tokens along with IOTX tokens. So they announced on the 23rd that there are going to be Geode rewards to complete 8 unique hexes and earn up to 200 Geode. IOTX rewards enable a task and add IOTX wallet to get a lot of IOTX. Now, these tokenomics, because I had somebody kind of arguing earlier that burning doesn't really help much. And I can understand kind of where it's come from. Burning does help with scarcity, but it doesn't help as far as with liquidity going into it and that kind of stuff like that. But something that GEODNET is doing, people need to take lessons on, because they seem to always have some pretty good price action. Even when the market's down, like right now, in the last 7 days, we're up 5%, which doesn't sound like a lot until you realize the other projects were down some. So, you know, they went from 34 cents to 36 cents. Where I want you to notice is the 1 month, you know, they're up 48% when a lot of this other stuff is down. Now I showed you with Solana being up $300 at one point and down at 250 now, and some of these other projects, what they're down right now. And here's GeoDNet leading the race, up 50% in a month. So I have to give it to GeoDNet. Whoever figured out their tokenomics, hopefully whoever's doing this is also the one that's helping Wingbits. Because I know Wingbits brought in somebody who only deals with tokenomics type stuff and trying to figure out long range, what's the best for the project, what's the best for the people like us. And I'm hoping that it's whoever did this for GeoDNet is who Wingbits brought in. I doubt it. I mean, I have no inclination either way. I'm just more of a joke, but being for real, that whoever is handling this part of this project, we've always talked about with DPIN. It seems like people who know DPIN don't know crypto, and people who know crypto don't know DPIN. Meaning you always have the smart person on one side of the other. I've always said, despite what people want to knock about Helium, their network works. You have projects on their network. The tokenomics side of it is freaking horrible. You can claim that about DIMO. No, DIMO has a network down. Whoever's buying it, people want to argue about if they're good customers or not. But either way, they still have a good project that's taking that vehicle data and sending it in. The tokenomics side of it sucks. But, GeoDNet seems to have it both figured out. We know there's paying customers. We see the burst, the hexes that come up, that customers need that detailed information. So they put them bonuses out there. And now they got this GeoPulse device. So the project's doing good, but also their tokenomics is doing good. So I say congratulations to GeoDNet. It's one of my more bullish projects that I'm happy to be involved in. All right, moving on to our next project is going to be WeatherXM. They're number 4. I'm making about 92 cents a day. Not much I'm going to say about them. There's not that much news, if any. And also their token has been exactly 35 cents for a week. It did have a little bit of a dip down at 34.5 cents, but it's basically the exact same price we had it last week at 7 days ago. So 35 cents each token, 92 cents a day is what I'm making WeatherXM. So that's about it. Moving on. NATIX, same thing with NATIX. So NATIX is another one that their price action has pretty much stayed the same the whole time. But as far as news is concerned, NATIX has had a little bit of news. We'll go over it real quick. And one of them is that they have partnered up with this Charge, building the largest decentralized charging infrastructure. You can connect the Charge and I don't know, some kind of partnership with them. But the big news is that this VX360, which is a device that can plug into your Teslas, they put a lot of effort into this. Listen, around here, we hardly ever see Teslas. My wife even is trying to buy a new vehicle right now. We gave the older vehicle to my daughter, and we demoed a electric vehicle, and they let us take it home for a day, and we're not ready for that yet. My wife does too much driving and too much shopping and that kind of stuff, and just driving it home from the dealership, we lost over a quarter of the battery already. I'm just not ready for that. So, we don't see a lot of Teslas down here, but they're putting a lot of effort into this VX360 thing. And, this is my personal opinion. And I'm going to say this is my personal opinion because I don't know anything about Teslas and I don't know anything about this product. But if I know Tesla at all, especially the person that runs it, y'all tell me if y'all agree or disagree. I'm curious to know if NATIX has Tesla's permission or they're just plugging into the Tesla on their own. Because what I'm curious to know is how long is this going to go for if Tesla knows that somebody's tapping into the camera, which is your camera because it's your vehicle. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know, just the way Tesla is and who is in charge of it. I don't know I guess I'm just curious to see if this is going to be long-term or if they got permission or not. So you have an early bird special right now. for $279 if you have a Tesla. Again, this is if you have a Tesla. This doesn't work with anything else. They're putting a lot of effort into this device for that only handles one vehicle, which is Tesla. Starting February 1st, you have another 1,000 units, but only a 10% discount for $314. And after that, for your normal price, $349.99. That's that. I don't know if there's any kind of codes. I have a code for like Soarchain and stuff, but I don't have anything for NATIX. I don't know if they even offer a code. But if you have a Tesla, you look into it. All right, moving on. This was the big hot and heavy controversy last week. I don't really know what's going on too much in the Discord this week, because nothing has really changed. So all it did was just, I don't know. I don't know who's making decisions over at Soarchain, but they need help. So Soarchain, you're still making 1 token per hour if it's parked. Again, I'm going to argue to people who want to keep throwing this out there. It is not gaming, because they're allowing you to connect while it's parked, and they're paying you. They're paying you drastically less rewards, which I can understand that. My issue, like a parrot, I'm going to keep repeating this, is if they're going to cut our tokens that drastically by not basically 90% parked, you need to increase them while moving. I'm just doing some hypothetical numbers right here of how much you're making per day. That's about if you drive 3 hours total. That's saying it takes you basically an hour and a half to get to work, an hour and a half back. Because if you drive less, like me, it takes 30 minutes to get to work, 30 minutes back. But I do run some errands throughout the day, go to lunch and stuff. So I'm guesstimating 3 hours. So you're making about 41 cents now at Soarchain. So while I was in the Discord, one of the admins commented to me, and apparently somebody took very ill kind to it, that like as if there's some kind of inside thing. This is the same thing he's telling everybody, but somebody made a huge post on how, y'all are telling Grumpy certain things and stuff that y'all need to tell it to everybody. He is telling it to everybody. He's repeating it and regurgitating over and over again. But one thing that he hinted on was that they will start doing vehicle to vehicle, V2V networking. So you would get these kind of bonuses and rewards, or more rewards, more income, whatever you want to call it, when you passed up, I'm assuming you passed up another Soarchain type device, vehicle to vehicle. Then we come to find out that if you have the little Soarchain Motus like we got, I'm reading that that's not even going to do V2V, which I have all kinds of feelings on. So one thing I will say about Soarchain's price, it has been 0.138 since the last Monday's video. So that's a good thing that price isn't dropping. So people keep asking also about the airdrops. So we've already got the airdrops started for like V2N mining, which is what we're doing. Mini purchasing, OG and Zealy and stuff like that. Then people saying that they didn't see that kind of stuff, or they didn't think they got it. But if you think you didn't get it, set up open a ticket up. This will be opening up validators again. I'm hoping that, this might be payments for the validators, because from understanding the validators did not get paid correctly or at all from the testnet validating and staking and stuff like that. Currently I'm not staking. I'm kind of holding out because I don't like the way that they handled in their validators that were handling this during the testnet, because it seems like they kind of left them hanging. Well, I know for a fact they left them hanging, couldn't answer any questions, wouldn't tell them what's going on. Then all of a sudden Soarchain opens their own staking. I'm curious to see what happens if they allow those validators to start staking again or what. So for right now, I'm not staking any of my tokens with Soarchain. There was a Cosmos Chains airdrop, because if you remember, one reason why I was very high in this project is because they were supposed to be on Cosmos. And now they're not. So, that is the airdrop distribution. All right, our next project that we're going to discuss real quick is going to be ERWIN. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Nothing really has changed with it. And it's also, I know that it looks kind of weird because I have on here 50 cents, which is higher than 41 cents. So really, technically, ERWIN should be above Soarchain. But the reason I have it is this is all dependent on how many boxes the system opens that day. And if the cat's still alive, which is the whole thing about ERWIN Schrödinger or whatever it is, that whole project, is the cat alive or not when you open a box. So if there's about 2 boxes open a day, I think you're making close to 50 cents. I don't know exactly what you're getting paid. The price of this token has come down a little bit. It used to be like at 50 cents. Now it's at 40 cents, 39 cents. So I'm just giving it a rough estimation. If they're opening 2 boxes a day, should be making about 50 cents a day. If they're not, you're making less. So I'm leaving it right there. It is another easy project. Every 3 days, you do have to go on the Discord and charge your miner. And again, you know, I have like behind me right now 5 of these stacked up with different projects running on them. One thing I will tell y'all, for those who are in multiple projects, I've had to do this twice because the first time I got it wrong, is when you have these, see this little big silver area right here? Take a Sharpie and mark which project is what, and preferably also the IP address, because anything with stuff like this, I reserve that IP address to this device so it never ever changes. So put, you know, ENT for entropy with, you know, 131 if that's the 131 IP. So in case you have an issue, you know exactly which one to go to. Because like when flex time went under the first time, which I have all kinds of thoughts on, I'm gonna reserve it. I didn't know which one of these to pull to get rid of flex time. So I had to go through all of them. Of course, it was the last one I picked. So that's the news on that. All right, moving on is going to be grass. Not much news on this. I'm not going to take a lot of time on it. We're still running in Epoch 4. And I'm guessing, assuming that we're going to have about 7 or 8 epochs. So we've been in this whole epoch schedule now for 3 months now. October, November, December, January, end of October, somewhere around there. So you're just going to keep building them up, build them up, build them up. I'm trying to build them up as much as I can. Again, I have grass running on devices that I don't do any kind of financial stuff on, or surfing internet or anything. And most of them are running on BitHarvest devices that I have scattered about at different host locations and different networks and stuff like that. BitHarvest, multi-mining different projects on one device. And I'm going to talk about them a little bit later. But that's what I run grass on, and Honeygain. So I'll talk about Honeygain in a minute. Grass price has been coming down. I'm surprised it stayed up this long, because with no new token coming in, because they're not paying us, you just have the same tokens being kind of regurgitated around that got airdropped to us. So I'm surprised it's lasted this long. You know, whether or not grass or somebody was continuously pumping liquidity to get this thing to $4, I don't know. But it goes to show you also what can happen after an airdrop. When this airdropped, it was at 43, 44 cents or something like that. People were selling it right away, like you see with these other projects. And next thing you know, 2 or 3 weeks later, it went from 40 something cents to $4. I had $1,000, $1,200, $1,300 worth of grass from my airdrop. I staked all of my grass. I did sell a little bit of it on that hunting trip, just so nobody calls me a liar. I tell everybody that. But after I got rid of a little $100 worth, I staked other $1,200 worth on BitHarvest Studio. You go through the grass website for staking, and you stake your amount you pick a validator. I suggested and picked BitHarvest because I know those guys. So that's grass. Silencio. Oh, I gotta take a deep breath on this one. Now, Silencio is kind of what I talked about at the beginning of this video in that very long-winded speech rant that I gave. I just don't think nobody gave it a chance. When people were holding millions and millions, and I mentioned this in some previous videos, kind of the same thing I mentioned with grass. People holding millions and millions of tokens who thought they're going to be all worth something, who probably already had Lambos picked out and that kind of stuff. And then when they finally got the airdrop and realized what this was worth, they lost their minds in that. When I tell you they lost, and then they bogged down Solana. I'm sorry. They're on Peak. This was Peak's first real release. People couldn't really do much on it. The Peak price has even gone down, which, you know, that hurts me, because if you've paid attention to any of my videos in the past month or so, I have been loading up on Peak. Now, Peak was going for 65 cents. Now it's down to like 30. which is a good buy-in price. But again, I don't have any money because it's not payday. So I'm kind of hoping it stays down for the rest of the week so I can buy more, because I'm buying more Peak. There's going to be other projects that come on it. This was Peak's first project. If you remember, Solana used to bog down all the time. And it even recently bogged down with the whole Trump, the Milana token and stuff like that, meme token. People couldn't do anything. You know, I saw the Milana token get released at $52. I'm trying to buy it, and Solana won't let my freaking transaction go through. Next thing you know, it's $12. So people want to knock Peak, but you have other chains doing the same thing. So Silencio gets released, and it was at this 0.005 price. And again, this started out bad a week before because they did a pre-sale, which people like me had an issue that the fact that you had to do a pre-sale with a price lower than what it should have been. Because why? When you keep bragging about all this money, and people bringing this up now, all this money y'all kept bragging about fundraising and everything you did. Yes, understand that y'all have operations costs, but y'all raised millions and millions of dollars. I want to say at one point we added up, it was either, don't quote me on it, but it was either 6 million or 9 million that they brought up. Are y'all paying each other? This is what's coming up in the Discord and on Twitter. Are y'all paying each other $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 salaries or something? What are y'all doing with all that money? And is any of it going into liquidity? Because again, this is just Facebook. I mean, this is just Twitter, X, and Discord. There's no fact behind it at all. So don't quote me on it. I'm just telling you what people are saying is that it doesn't look like there's any liquidity being brought in. Now, you look at the volume on KuCoin, you've had 1.1 million just in 24 hours. Another 500,000 in MEXC. So this is moving around more than some of these other tokens we talked about. But when you look at, again, same thing, when you look at this circulating supply, 13 billion is more than what we saw earlier, but still a 13 billion, 0.0003. If I didn't have already 1 point something million staked, I'd probably buy a little bit of this because this project's not going anywhere. So it's up to them. Again, this is a cool project. This also goes back to what I just said and regurgitated over and over. Is this another example of deep in people with a good project that don't know how crypto works? Or, or are they like some of these other projects that say, hey, we're concentrating on the project. Whatever happens on crypto, we can't control that. That's whatever the market does. And we're just going to concentrate on the project. I have mixed feelings on that. There's a part of me that always said, when you decide to use crypto as payment, you've now accepted the rules, the gimmicks, and everything else that goes along with crypto. And Silencio is the same thing. So, I don't know what Silencio is going to do. I still think that, I'm still running it. I'm still running it nonstop. They've also gone to this new system where you have, I was looking for the slides of it, but I can't find it. But Silencio has kind of changed it also. I think it's kind of cool. It's something different. I did a video on it. But now for every Silencio token you make in the app when you're doing measurements, that is going to be equal to 1 raffle ticket. And at the end of the period, which, since it's so close to February, we're just going to roll this into February. So basically at the end of February, beginning of March, if you have several 100,000 Silencio tokens from doing all these readings and measurements, that's 100-something thousand raffle tickets. Depending on where you fall into ranking, if you're in Diamond League like me, those Silencio token raffle tickets are going to be worth anywhere between 1 token to over 1 million tokens. So people who are losing their mind saying these raffle tickets are horrible and you're not going to get anything, that's again is incorrect FUD that y'all are spreading, because they're going to be worth at least 1 token. Now, 1 token might not be worth nothing, but it's the same as if this is still better than you getting a 1-for-1 token for doing sound readings, because chances are you have enough raffle tickets. Some of them are going to be worth more than 1 token. So you're getting more tokens than what you actually did sound readings for. It just goes to show you can't make people happy. We'll keep up with Silencio. I'm going to keep running it. I'm still running it every day. I still have my streak going. If you go back and look at my thing, I'm up to 1.215 million Silencio. Again, what I did is everything when this token released, you had when you pulled them from your wallet, it asks you right then and there if you want to stake. If you want to stake, you got to make the decision right then and there. You can't stake half of it and then say, you know what, I might as well stake all of it. You're too late. Whatever you stake at that time is all you can stake until this opens up again in February or whatever the next opening period is. It might be when the next airdrop is in 6 months. I don't know. All I'm going to say is that I staked 100% of all my airdrop tokens for 6 months, because in 6 months is when the next other half of those airdrop tokens are going to hit. Then that means I'll have all of them available right then and there in 6 months. Hey, I've made whatever the percentage was on staking. The staking percentages for 100% at 6 months was crazy, like 50, 60, 70%, something like that. I don't want to lie to you. I don't have it in front of me because you can only look at it at one time. But it was stupid. So I look at it as fucking almost, even if I get half of what those tokens are that I've staked, that's going to be a lot of tokens. So in 6 months, I should be doing very well, Silencio. Even at this price, I had, several $100s worth of Silencio. You hope the price can fix, and we'll see what happens. Honeygain's another project that I'm running on all my devices. I'm also running Grass on. It's a similar project. It's another one that if you got enough of them going, they all build up, and every couple of months you get $100 worth, and you can take that out and go do something with it. Helium IOT. Helium has taken a huge price dump because of this SEC BS that's going on. It's down to 0.0005. And this has nothing to do with the whole not giving out IoT anymore, because right now our devices are still making IoT. From what I understand, this Friday coming up is when the IoT and the mobile rewards end. So when you look at it for the last month, this is down 46%. So like I was saying is, at one time this was at 0.000001, and it's fallen to 0.00055. The SEC and that joke, Gensler, totally screwed this. This project has been around since 2020. Now all of a sudden they're trying to say the Helium IoT network or whatever, because they was selling miners or something, is now security. Like now, 5 years later. Come on, man. And we always go over Helium, and Helium is down for the month 45%, almost 50%. It was at $6.71, down to $3.70. When you look at it for the year, one reason I want to look at it for the year is because just in December it was at like $9 and $9.20, and it's down from $9.20 down to $3.70. But I have faith in this project because it's still a active network. Now, some people in the chat I'm in also argue that this price should never got to $40, $50. Hey, I can understand that, but if you look back over the summer, this was back down at $3.13, lower than what it is now, and still went up and hit this $8 mark and then these $9 marks. So when this was up here, I was saying that I thought Helium could easily get to $20, $25, even though y'all know I hate to do price predictions, but $20, $25 in the bull run, I can still possibly see it going, because it's still a working network. Don't quote me on it, but maybe I just say that because I have hopes and prayers for it, because I own a lot of HNT. I had a lot of IoT and some mobile, but I traded majority of my IoT in for HNT when this vote went through. I do hold on to about 200,000 IoT just for giggles to see what happens with it, but majority of it I moved over to HNT, so I have a lot of HNT tokens, and I just don't have the stomach to sell them at prices this low when I know what they were worth at one point. So we'll see what happens with Helium. Good luck to them. I'm hoping that this SEC thing just goes away with the new president, because it's a joke that 5 years later they're getting sued for securities. All right, as far as our mainnet goes, last but not least is going to be DIMO. And DIMO, again, in this group, I was chit-chatting with some people, and some of them were admittedly very big DIMO maxis at one point. A lot of promise for the project, and it is just tanking. And there's no excuse for this one. You can't blame this one on the SEC. It's tanking on its own. My miner, if y'all remember me talking in the past, in my truck, I have one of my DIMO macarons that said it wasn't connected for 17 weeks. Even though it was connected, then it would work for 1 week. Then the next week it just quit working for some reason, and it would have kept resetting my streak. Has now for the second week in a row been working correctly and says it's connected. The 17-year thing went away. It's working correctly. I have two other macarons that are at the max level. Those are making 23 cents a day. My macaron, the new one, because it's technically new because of the 1 week or 2 week streak. And this will be for y'all also. If y'all go and buy a new macaron, is making 15 cents a day. So for anybody who followed my videos last year, y'all know that for the longest time, I kept highlighted that I never made ROI on these things. I bought them last December, got them in January. I paid, a little over $90 for them each, plus the shipping. So that was about $270, $280. I am only, to this day, because of the price action, $16 into the ROI, if that makes sense, past the ROI. I have $16 in my pocket a year and a month later, basically. So looking at the price action for DIMO, we're down to 10 cents. In the last week, we're down 3%, which isn't bad at all. So it's kind of held steady for a week. Congratulations. For the month, it's down 45%. So it was at 19 cents a month ago, and it's down 11 cents now. And looking at it for the year, you're basically down actually more than 80% because you did have this little rise right here to 57 cents. And you've come down all the way to 11. At one time, let's see, it was 50 cents, 58 cents. 58 cents was that high that it's had. And I guess must have been when it first came out. It's showing that it had a high of $1.84, but I don't believe that. It's one of them artificial kind of highs from the token release. So anyway, something needs to happen in this price also. This is a project. The network's supposed to be good. Of course, everybody's bullish on it. What else they can come in here and say? So that's DIMO. We'll see if they can right the ship or not. I don't know. But they're out of 12 projects right now, they're in my last place right as of right now. So moving into testnet, this is getting kind of thin. I kept saying, over the last couple of months that you can start seeing testnet side get thinner. It may not, there's a part of me that I feel that maybe I need to get into some more testnet projects. There's also a part of me that says I'm going bald and I can't keep up with all the stuff I got going on right now. Do I need more projects? I know that's what my channel is about, but I don't know. We'll see. So we're going to talk about Wingbits. I'm going to sit back and get a little comfortable because we might be here for a minute or two. So Wingbits. Geosigners are finally going out. Of course, as Grumpy's luck has it, I'll make sure you can hear me. But as Grumpy's luck has it, I have 3 different packages because I had so many. I got 14 personal devices. 4 of them are scattered around the United States. And then I have 4 or 5 devices that with a group of friends. That's the group of friends I told y'all about all the time that I bought all these helium devices with. We all went together. Well, we converted some of those to Wingbits. So I have those together with those guys, plus family members that have them, and just some friends that have them also. So a lot of those devices were coming to me because I'm going to be the one that has to deal with it anyway. And it just seems like everything that was coming to my address in the sorting or customs place or whatever like that, they thought they had some kind of battery in it. This was an issue with about 100 shipments, they tell me, out of several hundred that they had, and they got sent back to the manufacturer. Of course, mine 3 or 4 packages were one of them. Hey, that's what it is. These things don't have to be set up until February 1st. And they have to be set up by March 15th, 16th, 17th, somewhere around there. But they're asking you not to install them until after February 1st. By February 1st, they should be sending some type of update out to your station. There's also going to be some instructions that are being released also. So I know they got people who are already on there, who are already plugging these things in. They got to be rebels. I don't have any to plug in. I will say that 3 out of my 4 hosts locations, according to the tracker, should be getting theirs tomorrow, which makes me a little more jealous. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, being the Wingbits maxi that I am a little bit a little jealous that I'm seeing everybody on Twitter have a geosigner and Grumpy does it. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So I'm sorry, it's been a very, very long Monday. So I'm relaxing back a little bit. So Wingbits, those geosigners are going out. Don't plug them in. You want to plug them in, that's fine, you know, whatever. But when you start having issues with it, don't be in the Discord asking all kinds of questions, because they told you don't do it until after February 1st. But you know, they got people out in the Discord, not with Wingbits, who are saying, oh, you know, there's nothing technically wrong with doing it. It just won't be. They ask you not to do it. Just don't do it. Jesus Christ. I know. I'll tell you also is, you know, I went most of last week and my code for those devices has not been used. And of course, what code am I talking about? I'm talking about this code right here, because I know it triggers certain people. So I'm going to go ahead and flaunt it out right now, because this is my channel, my videos. So for the last couple of days, this code has not been used at all. So I'm like, okay, maybe we finally kind of hit that plateau that all the Wingbit stations, you know, they sold over 2,000 of these new high-fix manufactured devices. Maybe they finally kind of hit that plateau. And I'm telling you all, in the last 24, maybe a little more 24 hours, I don't know what's happened. My code's getting worn out again. I don't know if this got pushed into new medias or what's going on with it, but you know, I don't know if Wingbits is doing something. It's one of these conventions that people talked about it, but I'm telling you, in the last 48 hours, my code's been used several times. So these devices are still being sold. I keep telling everybody, you know, if you look on that Wingbits map and you don't see another station anywhere around you, you're right for this project. I told you before, I have a host station in Missouri, southern Missouri. That guy has been holding on to that station for a little while, never set it up. Couldn't even contact him at one point, and he finally contacts me back and tells me he's selling the house. So right when I'm about to make arrangements to pay for shipping to get all this stuff sent back to me, he tells me, but by the way, I have a friend in crypto who lives 20 miles north of me. Will it go there? So he gave me that guy's information, and he's supposed to be sending me address of where he wants to put it at, because the first thing I got to look at is, where does he really live at, and where's the nearest Wingbit stations at? I don't really want to go step on people's toes, because I don't want nobody to step on my toes. But the southern Missouri spot that I had picked out where this guy was, the reason it was ripe is because there was no other stations around it for 100 miles. So a lot of those hexes, South Missouri, North Arkansas, you know, a lot of those areas would have been wide open for me. Looking, if I'm guesstimating kind of where this guy's going to be at, I might encroach on a few people who are north of this guy, those hexes in between, but still the south, if he can get this antenna set up correctly, the south, it's going to be wide open. So we'll see. I just told him that something needs to be happening. These things need to stay online for a certain percentage of time. And I need to either get it hooked up at the new guy's house, or they got to ship it back to me ASAP. Or if anything, if I can't get it back from him ASAP, I'm going to have to just take another one of these extra pies I have here, put those credentials on it for that station, and get it set up down here just somewhere, just to get it back online. I don't want to lose it. You can't, there are limits on DIY devices. You have to keep your DIY device online. I also have to make sure that this guy, I have the geosigner going to this guy in Missouri. I have to make sure that he doesn't, you know, I texted him today and said, this thing is irreplaceable. It's tied to that miner. Do not lose this thing. Please. If your friend's not going to take it, you have to get it shipped back to me. So we'll see how that's going. But there's some exciting stuff going on Wingbits. And, you know, I'm seeing also they had some news about the actual high fix stations. I'm seeing some pop up on Twitter X. So I'm hoping those are very soon to be getting released also. So one more thing I want to say about Wingbits, because I'm just scrolling through the announcements. There are still about 200. There was 226 stations that still have not given their shipping address for geosigners. Now, I've been the one that, like, somebody in Discord said they couldn't believe that. Well, I just think that you have people who maybe came from DFly, like the whole group I brought from DFly when we all left that scam Ponzi project, and set it up and just forgot about it. I talked to a buddy today, actually, that some of y'all know him, but out of respect for him and to save his embarrassment, I'm not going to mention his name, but I thought he had did the geosigner thing when I brought it up a while back to him. He told me he was taking care of it. And then today, January 27th, I tell him how I'm getting my geosigner in. He's like, "What's the geosigner?" And I said, "That was that thing you're supposed to sign up for on your dashboard." "Oh, I forgot all about that." So his 2 or 3 stations he has, I don't know exactly. I think he has either 2 or 3 stations. Because I host one in Louisiana for him, the rest of his in Texas. So that right there is going to be 2 or 3 stations that finally got set up for geosigners. But that shows you how easily, somebody could miss out. But my point of all that is, if you have a Wingbits do-it-yourself device and you have that thing installed, or even not even installed yet, I don't know what the time frame is on that. I didn't keep up with that side because mine are installed. If you have never gone to the dashboard on a self-built station, go to the dashboard to fill out your shipping address for a geosigner. You have to stop this video right now and go do that. Get that thing, because that thing's coming from overseas. It's going to take a little bit to get to you, and you have to get that done by March 15, 16, 17, something like that, or you're going to quit getting rewards. And I know it's going to happen. Y'all know what's going to happen. You're going to have somebody come into the Discord all pissed off, claiming that Wingbits has taken their tokens or kicked them out the project on March 17th, March 18th, and say, "I quit getting rewards, blah, blah, blah." And they're going to say, "Well, do you have your geosigner hooked up?" What the hell's a geosigner? They're going to come, because that's what happens in crypto. People don't come in there and read all the rules and instructions and announcements. They come in there with a chip on their shoulder, all pissed off, and going to say, "Why y'all doing this to me? Why are you doing it to me?" Without reading what's going on to realize that it ain't the project's fault. It's your fault, dip. You know what? So, all right, going on to our next project. Next and final project really is going to be 375 AI. Look at the numbers in between here. How them numbers have slowly moved up. 375 AI is a project that I run every day. And it's still in test net, but it's another easy project. What I do make sure I do is I force close it every day going to work. Force close the app, reopen the app, because I do find that sometimes I miss scanning hexes and stuff, especially when I'm driving a new area. I make sure if I know I'm going on a trip that I've never scanned with 375 AI yet, when I go to some of my meetings and I think about it, which is rare, but if I think about it, I will force close it and reopen it. But it's a project that runs on your phone and you're basically scanning hexes, which is the same thing a lot of these other projects are doing. It's still in testnet. So there's not much more. There's not really an announcements, but I have a code below for 375 AI. It's a free project you can get into. It looks very promising. Some different things going on with another data type network and stuff like that. If you don't use my code, you're gonna have to be on a waiting list to get accepted into the project. Using my code below gets you bypassed all that. Again, it's another free project, just like KAGE. So my thing is, if you're already running KAGE on your phone, why not run 375 AI? The only thing with 375 AI is you have to have a Phantom wallet that's running DevNet on the DevNet side, which can, easily you can find out instructions how to do that. I don't want to take any more time up this video. And then you link up to 375 AI. When you register for it, you're gonna have to put my code in, so you don't have to do the waiting period, and you can run that. Run KAGE also. Use my code for that, please. And all that helps the channel out and helps me out. So, I really appreciate all that. I'm exhausted. It's Monday, and today is our first real big day back at work. We missed almost all last week with the snow. We shut our whole town down, schools down. Schools didn't even have school last week. Monday was a holiday for Martin Luther King Day, and then Tuesday through Friday was closed because of snow. We had 9 inches of snow last week. This whole place was basically shut down. We don't know how to act. 9 inches of snow in South Louisiana. I lived in South Louisiana my whole life. I'm in the upper 40-year-old range. If you calculate all the snow I've ever had in my life in South Louisiana, all together does not equal 9 inches of snow. The 9 inches of snow we just had. 6 to 9 inches of snow, depending on where you were. This whole area was shut down. Grocery stores were shut down for 2 or 3 days. Roads were shut down. It was bad. I will say, if anybody with an all-terrain truck, I'm not getting paid at all to shield this. My last 2 trucks had these tires. I just had these tires put on my work truck. Toyo AT3s, all-terrain 3s, are one of the few only snow-rated tires with a little snow symbol on them that are snow winter rated as an all-terrain. We don't get snow often, but I'm telling you, my tires had no issues going through all that stuff, where I had other people with all-terrain and other pickup trucks that had issues. So just as a cheap pop for Toyo all-terrains, I had Terra grapplers, Nittos on one of my other trucks, and they weren't nowhere as good as what these are. But I have to get that little cheap thing. BITHARVEST, y'all know I'm supporting BITHARVEST. I keep saying this, but I have this device right here. As soon as I get enough time to sit down and work on it, this is an old Helium device that is going to Mississippi, and this is going to get BITHARVEST on it, and go to Mississippi. It's going to run Helium, Wingbits, everything you see on the list. Helium, Wingbits, Grass, Honeygain, Chirp, Pawns app, app, not ERWIN, because I don't have another credit for that. But another project that I'm just getting into, I guess I should have added them on here, is going to be Junkcoin. I got convinced to go into Junkcoin. I had nothing really against them. I was just, didn't know if I really needed another ESP32 project. But hey, I talked to the guy who's the founder of it. I believe he's the founder of it. Reached out to me in Discord. We went back and forth a little bit. Very, very cool guy. And I'll be honest with you, in my old age, some of this like funny talking type stuff in these white pages of some of these other projects, I'm just too old for some of that. Plus, it's hard to understand what they're really trying to get at. What Junkcoin is basically a very simple white paper, very simple tokenomics. And I don't know exactly what I'm making yet because it's still in the test net, I believe. So, I've had some people saying how great reward you're doing. It's if you're already into these other projects like, Entropy and ERWIN, and stuff like that, Brick, Useless Brick, it's basically you set this up the same way. I'm also into Useless Brick, just so I can say that. But I still don't understand that whole tokenomics, and last thing the token wasn't even developed yet. TGE, whatever, I don't know. That's why I really don't mention them too much. But Junkcoin seems like they're gonna be legit. So, if you're interested in that, you can get in the Junkcoin. You can find them on Twitter. You can find them on. I actually did a tweet with it. So if you check my Twitter X or whatever, make sure you can follow that. Make sure you follow that, and you'll see about me with Junkcoin. That's about all I got. Like I said, I'm exhausted, so I'm sorry I'm looking unprofessional and leaning back like this and all that, but it's been a very long day. I'm exhausted, but I gotta get this Monday video out. I gotta do it. So I also have a code. If anybody wants to still get in Silencio, listen, I'm not giving up on Silencio. I don't care about this little price drop with all this, people losing their minds, and they're attacking me on Twitter and Discord and my YouTube videos in the comment section about Silencio. I'm not giving up on Silencio just yet because of what this price action did. When you look at that market cap, it is ripe. This is not financial advice. Nothing in these videos ever is financial advice. The slide in the beginning of this says that. It also says, please like this video for me to help me out. But if you still want to try to get in Silencio, please use my code. My code gives you a bonus set of points to start out with. And I think this raffle ticket's gonna be cool. But y'all know me. I can say all that. And if come at the end of the March, whatever it is, the March 1st, whatever it is, and this raffle ticket thing seems to be BS, and all I make is about 57 cents with that, y'all know Grumpy's gonna be grumpy, and I'm gonna call him out. So the people who say I want to see their and I'm kissing their butt or whatever like that, or I'm only positive and it works out for me, y'all don't know what y'all talking about, because y'all should know by now that if my back's starting to hurt, I have to sit up, but y'all know that if we look like we're getting jerked around by Soarchain or by Silencio or by any of these projects, I'm gonna come out and say it. That's the one good thing about not being sponsored and not accepting sponsorship from any of these. And people forget that. I might have a code to help me make 37 cents on certain links and whatever the hell I might make, but I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not taking income from anybody. I'm not getting free tokens. You know, even BitHarvest to get, you know, even though I talk with them guys, I can show you, I've showed y'all on the video where I buy the BitHarvest token and send it to them to get a license. So I don't owe nobody nothing. And I can say, if I want to come in here and this week and talk bad about WeatherXM, but then talk good about WeatherXM next week, it's going to be because that's how I feel. That's why also I do videos on projects I'm in and not speculating when people are like, hey, can you do a video on so-and-so project? No, brother, because I'm not in that project. So I'm not following it. It's not fair. Like you see some of these YouTubers that come in here and there's a new project coming out. It's in testnet. Hasn't paid anything yet. And they're going to do videos that tell you how you can make $200 a month with this new project. How the hell do you know that when they haven't released a freaking token yet? You have no idea what the token price is or what kind of payout it's going to be. But you're doing videos out there that's telling people you're going to make $200. Or like the link I sent to my group earlier of somebody who does a video that says you're going to be rich mining DIMO. I just showed y'all how y'all can only make 15 cents a day mining DIMO. Right now, if you buy a macaron, a DIMO macaron, it's going to take you somewhere between 550 to 600 days if you keep it strictly connected at the token price it is now. That's not included if it goes down some more or up a little bit more. It's going to take you a year and a half to ROI on one DIMO macaron at $99. My point I'm getting at is when people want to accuse me of being like some other YouTubers, take offense to it because I'm out here to help y'all. I'm out here to do how-to videos to help y'all. I'm bringing y'all the news all in one place and what's going on with the token price about certain projects and the news and just what's going on in Discords and that kind of stuff like that. I have chapters. You can skip around. If you don't want to hear about grass, but you want to know about Silencio, you can go to the chapters. If you want to sit here for an hour and a half, listen to me ramble, because I can't. I'm telling you right now, I don't watch videos on YouTube that are an hour and a half. I don't have the time for them. I make it because I'm putting all this into one video. You know, I don't know how else to split it up. If I should just start skipping. I don't want to skip certain projects because this week there might be nothing going on with NATIX, but next week there could be some big news going on. I don't know. I mean, I'm just rambling on at this point, but you know, I put a lot of effort into this, despite how it might look. I put a lot of effort in this. So when people want to call me out about certain things, or I'm just a typical YouTuber pushing this kind of stuff, I take offense to some of that stuff because that's not what I'm here for. But I'm also not a chump, and I'm also not a joke. That if I can make a little bit extra income by doing this, by not working overtime, I'm not working my side business, I'm not idiots. And it's also saving y'all money. But now I'm gonna get attacked for saving y'all money. You know, you can't make some people happy. And there's always usually some kind of vendetta behind the scenes that people forget about. Thursday, I do my lives. Y'all catch my live on Thursdays. I got some other videos to put out this week. I'm working on a snow video that I'm gonna do on my other channel. I got my other YouTube channel also that I have to keep up with, which is the outdoors channel. It's kind of hard to do hunting videos when you're not killing anything. It was a very bad season for hunting, not just for me, for everybody in that whole kind of general part of the whole state of Mississippi. It was not a good year. A lot of warm weather. So I have a whole bunch of hunting footage of everything except me harvesting a deer. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Fishing's gonna be coming up soon in about 2 months, right around the corner. So we'll do some more fishing videos. I also had to do a third YouTube channel for ham videos because the YouTube algorithm was killing my ham videos on my outdoors channel. So that's all I needed was a third YouTube channel. So y'all see that I'm very busy, sleeping 1.5 hours a day. So that's why I'm not really looking to get into many more testnet projects, even though I should, just to keep this channel fresh. But if y'all know of a decent testnet project that looks halfway decent, I'll take a look at it. I can tell you right now, I'm not doing no more of these AI or these internet Chrome extensions where sharing my internet, because I got people sending me those every day. Hey, here's another one like Grass or like Honeygain, or add this Chrome extension, add this thing to your cell phone. Look, that might be for y'all, but that's not for me. I've taken too many of these network safety videos and stuff to download. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't run anything on my phones. Nothing. There's nothing on it, because I also do my banking stuff on it. I do too much crypto stuff on it. I'm not gonna be running Coinbase and crypto.com and Phantom and all this stuff on my phone that I'm also gonna go put a data sharing program on. Now, somebody's gonna come in here and attack me saying I don't know what the hell I'm talking about because all that stuff's safe. Says who? You're taking their word for it. The computers, like this supercomputer that I just built right here, that took me 6 months to build because I had to have the top stuff and everything, that I also have some crypto wallets on, doesn't have a data sharing project on it. Nothing crypto like that. It's just me being safe and taking precautions. If y'all want to do that, that's for y'all, but that's just me. So that's all I got for tonight. I'm rambling on, and this video is gonna be long enough. I still gotta go edit this video. It's 10:30 at night. So I thank all y'all for watching. Hey, I thank y'all for the support. I think I just hit like 27,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank y'all very much for that. Despite the people that want to knock me in Discord and knock me in certain places, my subs are going up. So gotta be doing something right. And make sure y'all hit like on this button on this video. Hit that thumbs up. You'll know that helps out more than anything. Hit the subscribe button if y'all haven't yet. Hit the little bell notifications so in case y'all get all my quick videos when I drop some kind of news quick, especially shorts. I'll drop a lot of those when there's something quick going on and I don't have time because I'm at my real job, so I gotta go hide in the closet or something like that, or hide in the bathroom and do a quick short telling y'all to watch out for something. Or I'll share it on my Twitter X. So look, thank y'all for the support, and I'll see y'all in the next video.